G'day everybody, it's Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp, and here's your executive summary. What a couple of days. Of course, some excellent performance from some of the last couple of executive summary picks. We saw INO today, Blast. This was of course from Tuesday night. We picked this as a flag formation, and looking at an entry around, I think it was right around 8:33, but that just broke out. There's your flag. And then it broke out and went straight up to the target there of 950 of that flag extension. So awesome, 12.77% move just today. So that was made, I'm sure a lot of people smile. ICA. Also, of course, big performer from last Tuesday, I believe it was, March 10th or even Wednesday. Went up, of course, significantly up 11% the next day, hitting its target, and then actually continued another 4%. Could actually be a continuation play, so keep an eye on this one as it starts to consolidate, because this one could actually go even further, and if it breaks a high here of 353 or so, I'd be looking at a target up here of a 381, so about another 10% pop. On the list today, CERS is first on the list. Been on my list for various reasons as a watch recently, and of course one of the first reasons that I found this, and I'll just kind of try and simplify this a little bit and take all these averages off. But when you go and have a look at the short squeeze, have a look at this, CERS. The short squeeze on this is 23%. So 23% of the stock is being bet against. Now when you bet against a stock or short it, it means you have to buy. And if everyone is shorting the stock, or a significant amount of people, if they all have to buy at the same time, you get a big rally, or can get a big rally. Now the stock started to bounce off some very interesting support levels here. So we started to come down, we rallied up, hit moving average resistance, pulled back, and have now gone up again. So when looking at the way the stock moves, you can tell back here doesn't really listen to the moving average. Over here doesn't really listen to the 200-day moving average. Just cuts straight back and forth through it like it doesn't even exist. So I'm not worried about that moving average. I'm looking more at the fact that this has the oscillating nature to it, meaning it could have a substantial upward movement quickly. And so therefore I focus more on the Fibonacci's. And so therefore I look at that as a good potential pop on this, going up, say, through that $40.30 price, up to a target of 507. And 507 is where this, where we actually get to this 50% Fibonacci, and where I think there's a good chance of it driving up towards. In terms of a stop loss, I'd be looking around the 403. So there's about 77 cents of potential gain for a 27 cent risk. So that's about a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. There's also, if we go to our window here, you can see if we go to what might be coming into the company in terms of smart money, you can see we've actually got insider buying and institutional buying, right? All here in 2015. 1, 2, 3 buys, only 1 sell. Okay, now the next one is MX. This is a really interesting story. Look at the way this dropped. It dropped, well, what was it? 50%. Based on a change in their 2012 earnings per shares. They had to restate it, and that caused a big drop in the price. But it's been dropping here beautifully under the moving averages, and now has just started to break. Now there's nothing really over top of this until it hits the 50-day moving average. So there's a huge potential as a swing trade for this to get back up to the kind of the mid $7 range, and that's what I'd be looking for, from 553 up to 723. That's $1.80 potential return, and popping a stop loss down, say around 513. That's a 40-cent risk, which is a 4.5-to-1 risk reward ratio. And look at the money flow. Look at how that's rallying up as the price declines, and look at how that compares to another little stock that I was looking at today. Almost exactly the same, but look at this. VBLT, big drop, 65%. goes down, gets above the moving averages, and bang, up 40% today. Same kind of money flow. So this is what I'm hoping to see from MX, is a really beautiful rally, just like it. So that's, I thought, was really interesting. There's been no insider selling since 2012, but if we look at the institutional buying, you'll actually see here that despite these big drops, we go to the institutions, and you'll see that there are multiple purchases, only a couple of sells. And if you add up the percentages of the people that are buying, they represent 38% of the reported ownership here on Insider Cow, versus the people that are selling only owning 2% and 6%. So 8% versus 38 gives you an idea of the weighting of the decision making going on. So sorry, just 2013 was the last sell. I think I may have said 2012. But so there's MX. IMGN is the next on the watch list for a breakout play. This is actually just teasing the $8 price range. If we get a break of $8, we could get a rally up to at least here around 8.43. So there's about a 5% potential gain there. But if it can overcome that resistance, there'd be another breakout play looking at that 950 area. So there's a breakout to watch. And the last on the long list is SolarFun, or SoFun Holdings. Now this is a Chinese company which trades on the US, so it's purely technical, and they deal with Chinese real estate holdings. So there's no insider information to report, but if you look at the 3-year chart, you'll see that this stock basically, it's a real company. It trades millions of shares a day, had a huge run up, then a huge run down. But look at where we're coming to. We're looking at that same area, which was key resistance for quite a while, and then there was a massive breakout right here, going from 900,000 shares to 7 million, and then just that was where the entire rally stemmed from. So it could be smart money support, and basically if we zoom in here, let's just go in and have a look. We can see that it's at that same level, and we're also in a falling wedge, which of course is a bullish formation. So I'm looking at a possible entry here at 569. Looking at the first target would be 637. That's the first problem. But what I'm really looking for is a rally up to this area of around 787. So the stop loss I'd look at would be 523 under the low of this candle, with the low being 525. Even a little bit lower than that because of this declining line. I look at actually at 515, and a bit of a speculative play, but good potential. And last but not least, on the short side, there was some institutional buying on this, but as a technical play, Home Loan Servicing Solutions has had some very bearish close today. Broke through all the moving averages yesterday, and the volume has been decent to the sell side. 1.13 million before, then 4.4 million on the break, another 4.69 million today. So I'm looking at that as, if this breaks this 23% Fibonacci, I'm looking at that as a break of 1713 with a target of 1559. And a stop criteria at 1807, which is just, of course, above. If you look at the hourly chart, you'll see is just above where that resistance point is, right around here. That moving average is coming down on top. So that's your executive summary for today. Again, if you're not a member of our daily reports and trading rooms, simply go to acornwealthcorp.com and contact us about going through a trial of our services, because there's certainly a lot more where this came from that you're missing out on. Otherwise, we'll see you all in the next summary. Happy trading and have a great weekend.